Welcome to the underbelly of Formula E production. Here, thousands of miles away from São Paulo, this is the place where all of the feeds, all of the broadcasts, the angles, the data, everything comes into many rooms in this building. And this season, we're bringing you something a little bit different. We're going on a deep dive into how drivers win races in Formula E. For the first race of the season in São Paulo, that was all about Jake Dennis. Let's start by talking to him.
Jake Dennis wins the São Paulo E-Prix.
Great, congratulations, what a drive, what a win. Great to see you back up there again. First of all, just give us a sense of your feeling right now. It must be amazing.
Ecstatic, to be honest. I'm over the moon to get my first win since Jeddah 2023 or 4, a long time ago either way. Yeah, you know, winning this race is so difficult at the best of times, and doing it from pole position where it's never been done before is very special. So yeah, it's been a great day, pole position, race win, 25 points, and yeah, I can fly home a happy man tonight.
You put it perfectly there about this race. It's being so hard to win and being so hard to do well in. It's very demanding when it comes to the strategy. Let's talk a little bit about that strategy, because it's always a risky strategy to drop back down the pack and put yourself in a position to be able to climb up the order and use those attack modes effectively. Was there any points where you thought we might have dropped back too far, or was everything perfect from the start?
No, definitely after that first attack sort of sequence played out and we were down in, I don't know, I'll take a guess at like P10. It didn't feel too good at that time. We were definitely probably 4 or 5 positions further back than what we wanted to be. But yeah, just the pace of the race was so high at that stage, I couldn't keep up with them due to everyone being in attack. And then ultimately, when we took our first one, we launched ourselves back up behind Pascal P2, and yeah, then it was just holding position and being there when it mattered. And ultimately, that second attack mode worked out perfectly until the red flag, but ultimately it looked like it was job done by that point.
And we know this so well in Formula E. You've got to be in it to win it. You've got to be in those positions to capitalise on them. But let's just now look forward and what this means for you and the team. You must have so much confidence, not just in the package and the team and the strategy, the whole shebang now going into the rest of the season. Yeah,
I mean, it's such a turnaround from what we've had last year, so it's a full credit to the team's off-season work. You know, we've definitely done our homework and where we need to improve, and São Paulo is generally a good hunting ground for us normally. So yeah, I think we expected to have a good result here, maybe not the win, but ultimately I'm feeling great, and it's just nice to have a smile on my face and win this race.
It's certainly nice to see a smile on your face. From us here in Formula E Production HQ, maybe 3,000-4,000 miles away, to you there, always a pleasure, mate. Congrats and enjoy the celebrations.
Thank you, enjoy Christmas.
Cheers, buddy. So we've just heard from Jake Dennis there. He gave us his interpretation of how he won this race. But now let's go into the data, into the tech, and understand how that came to be. And to do that, I'm joined by a man that needs absolutely no introduction, because we're talking World Championships, wins, podiums, McLaren, Mercedes, you name it. Albert Lau was very much involved in all of that from the race engineer. Thanks very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
It was a pretty intense race, wasn't it?
It was an exceptional first race, I think.
A very, very good start to the season. Now, you are the man with the data, with the stats, and I'm looking at the graph right now. How did Jake Dennis make that win possible? Because it looked like at times it was looking a bit challenging.
It was definitely not easy for him, but I think they had a really good strategy from Andretti from the team side, and he just executed it exceptionally well. And realistically, it was really, really patient, and we can look into it now.
Let's do it, because what I see right now, it looks somewhat like a child's crayon drawing. How do we turn this into Jake Dennis winning a Formula E race?
So if we look at the race trace, so this is essentially the gaps as they evolved throughout the race. So imagine like if you just did the same lap time, an average lap time, every single lap of the race, you see a flat line. But clearly that's never the thing in Formula E.
Okay.
So what you see here is actually, as the race starts, Jake is sort of leading from pole, and then he actually ducks back and starts to be a little bit more into the pack, still in the top 5, but just conserving a bit of energy as the pace of the race is relatively slow.
And Jake, that light blue line there that we're seeing, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay, so you can see, I'll let you carry on describing, but in that opening stages, everybody's pace is dropping down, as you expect in a race like this, where it's all about energy management.
Yep.
And then what does Jake do after that?
So as we get through to sort of like lap 5, lap 6, you see a couple drivers start taking attack mode and then starting to use that 350 kilowatt, use that all-wheel drive to start punching through. But Jake actually, in this light blue here, he's actually super patient, lets all of them overtake, and kind of keeps his powder dry, so to speak.
Okay, so these little marks we're seeing, these kind of triangles, that's kind of what I call the go point, right? That's when the target changes. Suddenly it's less about having a slower lap time and saving energy, and it's more about pushing.
Yeah, exactly. So, and to do that, they're generally taking attack mode. So what you see on the screen here is the little triangles when they take attack, and then the highlighting is sort of the duration of the attack. So you see that Jake is actually one of the later cars of the first pack, really, to take his first activation, and he just showed him and the team showed an immense amount of patience throughout this part of the race, because sometimes it can be a little challenging when other people are coming through, your driver's getting a bit frustrated, but for me, super cool, just let it happen, stuck with his strategy, and then when he takes attack, he makes it count, pushes all the way to the front of the pack, ends up in P2, and then again, he's in control of the race.
Let's just pick up on that, because you raise a really good point, and this is what I was thinking when the race was going on. Jake put himself in that danger zone, not just Jake, the Andretti team, we'll add, put themselves in that danger zone deliberately. Absolutely. And Jake knows better than most, I'd say, in the last few seasons. Let's not forget that this is his first win since Diriyah in 2024, well over a season, almost 2 years ago. That is not an easy position to work yourself out of. Anything can happen in the chaos that is Formula E, but they put themselves in that position deliberately.
It's super risky to be in there, but again, you have a good racing driver and you trust him to be able to execute that strategy, and that's exactly what he did.
You've got to be in it to win it, and that's exactly where they were. Now talk to me at this point now where you get to the end of that first attack mode use.
So at the end of the first attack mode use, you sort of see everyone's used a bit of energy, and then the pace again just slows down. So as cars are finishing up their attacks, you see the second phase of the race really just starting. All of the cars at the front, they've all used up their first attack mode, and the pace just drops down again, and Jake finds himself leading the race at that point. And again, super patient, same as the first attack mode. Again, their strategy was to be patient. He lets all the other cars behind him take attack, and fortunate in this case that the safety car came out, but realistically, if the safety car didn't come out, I think he would have just been a copy repeat of the first activation where he lets everybody go through and then takes another attack and then goes through in the front again. So that was their strategy from the beginning, I'm sure.
So once they get out of that danger zone, they're up there, they've got more energy than most, and they've got an attack mode to use at a later point and use that extra energy effectively and do what they made happen and get the first win of the season.
Exactly. I mean, after the safety car for Mortara comes back in and he takes his second attack, he only has to overtake, he only has to overtake 5 cars, but then he's in the lead of the race, and then clearly the red flag comes out, but from that point it was a quote-unquote easy win, I would say.
So just to round things off, Albie, let's look at the top 3 and their races together using the data in front of us. A little quick summary of each strategy and why it worked.
Okay, so starting with Dennis, you can see that they were super consistent in their execution of the attack modes. Again, relatively late first one, relatively late second attack, and again, using that attack mode to punch through to the front. You see the slope of the line being very vertical, so they're super fast compared to everybody else. Roland, very early first attack, very early second attack. So again, sticking with their strategy, doing exactly what they need to do to execute that strategy to make it work. And then Cassidy was just saving for the first half of the race. And then 2 really, you don't see it with all the other cars, but right here, that where you see Roland and Dennis sort of slowing back down, that's when he was punching his way forward. And again, that's just another way to get on the podium.
Perfectly put. Sometimes it's good to make sense of the chaos that is Formula E, and there we have it right there on the screen in stats. Albie, thank you very much.
Thank you, dude.
On to the next race. More of this to come, I'm sure.
Welcome to Mexico. Yeah.